Views expressed may be politically controversial. Viewer discretion advised. Good afternoon, America, and lovely Miami Lakes, Florida. Welcome back to the super sexy Black Saitama show. I'm your host, Black Saitama, aka Amir Waheed. As always, you know the topic is always about niggas and politics all the time. Let's get started with the disclaimer. The views expressed in this presentation are not meant to offend any party. The super sexy Black Saitama show may present unpopular, controversial political opinions. Don't get upset. The content presented is for educational and entertainment purposes only. So please sit back and enjoy the show. Yes, I. All right, today our subject is titled Juneteenth, Black Lives Matter and the Current Political Theater in Black America. We're going to start with a video clip from Benny Johnson of Turning Point USA. He's going to give us a tour guide of Chaz. It's very funny. You guys are going to love that one. We're going to go over and we're going to define a few of my super sexy slogans and catchphrases. Is on the board, as you guys can see. And our final segment, new to the show, new to the super sexy Black Saitama show, the segment is called The Real Negro Coons, Masters of Deflection, Shoe Shuffling, and Coon Babble. Well, we'll highlight this week's clout-chasing, uppity, boule, bougie, Democrat plantation niggers. All right, so that's going to be like a weekly thing. Every time we come to the show, we're going to end the show with the real Negro coons of the black community. All right, it's going to be hilarious. I'm always going to pick out the best ones. If you guys have any suggestions, just hit me up in the comment box, right? Okay, so cool. Let me start off with my first, opening of the show. One thing that's never spoken about today is the classification of black culture. Who's considered cool? Who's considered coon? Black Democrats, the evil left, white liberals, they have all hijacked black culture. Free-thinking blacks are not allowed in the black club, the black delegation as they call it, right? Black conservatives are hated more than the thugs, hoes, criminals, pedophiles, rapists in the black community. We're often referred to as coons, but is that really the case? Who are the real Negro coons in the black community? We will explore that in today's episode. All right, so good. As usual, right, every time I start the show, I'm going to start off with a quote and excerpt from a book. Today we're going to be reading The True History of Jesus' Birth, Death, and What It Means to You and Me by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Okay? So we're going to go to, this is a good one. I'm going to read this to you guys. All right? So it's titled The Negro Preacher, the People's Worst Enemy. This was article number 14, written November 2nd, 1957. By the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Okay, so I'm going to just read the first paragraph, okay? I am well aware of my disputers, who dispute without knowledge, and who are followers of devils for certain privileges. They claim to be the representatives of God and Jesus, whom they claim to be the Son of God, but are licensed, ordained, and sent by the devils. God-sent men are licensed by the world. This class, who love to be revered and honored by the people, whether God has any respect for them or not, are really agents for the slave masters, the devils. They are secret persecutors and murderers of the prophets of God, and will say, if they had been their followers and would not have opposed them, yet they persecute me and my followers and all who teach the truth, for the same things that the enemies of the prophets of the old. Great quote, right? You guys could get this. Look for The True History of Jesus' Birth and Death, and What Does It Mean to You and Me by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Very powerful. Who's real, who's fake in the black community? You guys know I keep my conversations 100% black. We're going to figure out who's real and who's fake in the black community. These guys, they come up to you, they say they believe in Jesus, they believe in God, they're righteous people, but then they vote Democrat. Everything that comes from the evil left is evil. Y'all know that. Abortions. What else? Welfare. Keeping a father out of the home. Sexual liberation. Sexual freedom. LGBT whatever. You feel me? No conservative principles in those. How is that gonna lead to a better, brighter black community? What Democrat agendas, what progressive agendas has been laid out in the past 50 years? You know, what? Because the black community isn't getting any better. We're adapting all the white liberal agendas. And then these niggas, they get on TV, the Don Lemons, the Roland Martins, the Jay-Z's, the T.I.'s, the Oprahs, the Angela Rye's, the NAACP, the Congressional Black Caucus, right? Tyler Perry, all of Black Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? The sororities, the Kappas, the Masons, you know what I'm saying? All of them, the Eastern Stars, the black culture, right? The BET black culture, right? They come and present themselves to the black community as real while promoting 100% white liberal agendas, right? We got to talk about that kind of stuff, man. And all right, cool. So we're going to get into a great show today. I'm kind of excited. Also, if we go to the board right quick, we're going to define some of my super sexy slogans and catchphrases and what they really mean. As you can see, we have mimicking white supremacy. What do I mean when I say that? The difference between nigga with the ER and nigga with the A at the end. What do I mean when I type that? What is coon babble? So we're gonna get into a lot of topics today. Let me start off with a quick clip from Benny from the block, Benny Johnson from Turning Point USA. We're gonna show you the aftermath of liberal agendas. What do liberals want? So we're gonna show you. I guess it's called Chaz. I don't know where it's at. I think it's up there in Washington or whatever. So the Black Lives Matter movement, whatever this rioting and whatever this injustice that we're going through right now in today's existence has led to the liberals creating Chaz. So let's check out Benny from the block. This shit is gonna be funny. Let me get to it right quick. Set it up. Okay. It's 2 minutes, guys. All right, let's go. I think you guys are going to love it. Let's play this here.
Are you sick of living in capitalist America? Sick of your freedoms and rights and security and due process? Well, come on down to Chaz. Look at all the wonderful things that communism has to offer. Feel safe in Chaz with strong border security and armed border guards. Live like a good communist in Chaz housing just like this. You can live in slums. No need to have ambulances in utopian Chaz. Turn them into housing. No need to buy clothes. Clothes are free in communist Chaz. Be a good environmentalist by throwing your trash everywhere and expecting capitalist America to pick it up. Artists in Chaz are free to create art anywhere they want, even on playgrounds for children and historic buildings. You can even create art on bathrooms that capitalist America has donated to Chaz. However, I wouldn't recommend using these facilities. Instead, just poop in the street. In Chaz, if you need manure, you can just find it in the street. Feel free to use any drugs you want, anywhere you want. In Chaz, you can plant gardens and then segregate who can garden in them by their race. That's progress. Make sure you deface minority-owned businesses. Progress. Make sure you threaten to kill cops and then threaten to kill everyone who doesn't agree with you. You better desecrate the American flag. All good communists do it. And guess what? In Chaz, there's no police. So Chaz is completely peaceful. No violence ever in Chaz. Peace and love forever. The best part, in communist Chaz, you can still use capitalism. It's only 6 dirty capitalist American pig dollars for a hot dog. Or you could just eat food right off the ground. So come on down to Chaz and find the future leftists want. Yay, communism!
How you guys like that one, guys? How you like that? That's where the left is taking us. That's where the left is taking us, man. They don't know what they want. You know, at one point, the Chicago mayor, right? She looks like Frankenstein. Whoever created that monster, good job. Every time she comes on TV, I laugh. But anyways, right? At one point in time, she was saying she's for gun reform, Second Amendment reform, you know, for people to turn in their guns, just like Beto was in Texas, right? So then they asked the question, so who's gonna make criminals turn in their guns? Because criminals don't follow the law in the first place. So if you're telling law-abiding citizens to turn in their weapons, right? Criminals aren't gonna do it. Okay, so in that same breath, that's why Beto lost. That's why he lost his presidential campaign. He couldn't answer that question. So now back to the Chicago mayor. I don't even know her name, but now she just recently said, if you're confronted with like say a burglary or something like that, do not put the law in your own hands. Call the cops. So she's going after Second Amendment, right? She wants you to give up your weapon. So she's saying, don't put the law in your own hands, call the cops. So while you're getting criminalized or terrorized, you must call the cops in that moment, right? But now they're also telling you to defund the police. So what do they want? They want you to get rid of your guns, and then they want to defund the police. The only person that benefits from those two extreme measures are criminals, because criminals don't follow the law, and without the police, who's going to stop the criminals? So Chaz, what an interesting video. Benny Johnson did a great job from Turning Point USA. Kudos. All right, so as always, I always read a quick scripture from the Black Saitama's Instagram. So let's get to that right now. And this is the scripture. Okay, if we go to the screen here, these mayors had over 1,400 black murders in 2019, and they never said one word. Now they're all over TV for 2 deaths by 2 police departments. I know you guys are familiar with the Rashad Brooks. We spoke about that last week on the Super Sexy show. We all know about the George Floyd. We're marching and rioting for him and protesting for him instead of David Dorn. Before that was what's the dude, Ahmaud Arbery. And like Candace always say, the black community picks the lowest denominator of a person, of the black community, and turn them into a martyr. You know, George Floyd people ain't even go this crazy for Martin Luther King. And George Floyd get all this attention. Rashad, how you fight the cops, steal the cop weapon, shoot the taser at the cop, right? It's a justified shooting, and the cop gets fucking charged for murder. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, back to the scripture. Okay, so look at this. This is where the black community is leading us. They want feminism in charge. White liberals, they want the black women in charge. And look at where their leadership is taking us. All black Democrat-ran communities usually have some black women in there. Maxine Waters, Sheila Jackson, Frederica Wilson, Stacey Plaskett in the Virgin Islands, right? And now look at these women. I don't even know where they're from. Atlanta, I think this lady from Atlanta, right? Chicago, of course. But let me get to this here. This is where the black community is taking us, putting Mammy in charge. That's the image they want of black. They want The LGBT movement and feminism is at the top priority of the black community because they're white liberal agendas. There's no plan for the black man, and we're getting a bunch of women in charge, and they're not fixing any issues. They're not correcting any issues, right? Okay, so let's get to it. Black women in charge is against Nation of Islam tutelage because there's a hierarchy, conservative values, right? Don't let niggas fool you. None of these black politicians nor black celebrities followed Malcolm X nor Martin Luther King's doctrine. These are niggas mimicking white supremacy, enjoying all of what America has to offer while selling you racism and oppression. These, my friends, are the real Negro croons. I'm telling you guys, I keep Black Saitama is the truth. These are the real Negro coons. These people right here. I'm calling them out right now. All these black celebrities, all these black entertainers, all these people that's telling you it's racism. How come they so successful in America? The same racist America. How are they so successful, but telling you can't make it because you're black? But they black too. They just want to mimic white supremacy. They can't wait to get to them echelons of power just so they could treat you the same way the white man treats you. That's what I mean by mimicking white supremacy, but we're going to go to that later on. These, my friends, are the real Negro coons. No rebuttal necessary. Black Saitama is always the truth. I told you niggas that already. Easy day, man. Easy day. All right, welcome back. Yeah, we were just talking about a juicy subject. Those are my favorite conversations. The real Negro coons, who they are, what they do, the practices they do. I just gave you a few examples. I'm going to give a friend of mine a call. He's going to get on the show. Troy Brown, great friend of mine from the U.S. Navy. We served together on the Minesweeper in Ingleside, Texas. Right? Became friends, still friends to this day. Really good guy. He's up there in Chicago. So we talk all the time, and he tells me about the climbing up there in Chicago. And so I'm going to get him on the phone. But before we get into that, let me show you a quick clip from Larry Elder, and he's explaining why are black conservatives called Uncle Tom, right? So this is just a quick little segment of Larry Elder explaining why black conservatives are called Uncle Tom, all right? Instead of the real Negro coons, that's the Democrat politicians, instead of those guys being called out for their detrimental leadership, right? The deflection goes to the black conservative. You know what I'm saying? Instead of addressing the real issues on the black community, the black conservative points it out. The issue was then the black conservative, not actually the problem. So let's get into this right quick. My dog, Larry Elder. Oh yeah, by the way, Larry Elder just dropped his movie titled Uncle Tom today, June 19th or Juneteenth, like we like to call it. So make sure you check out and support Larry Elder. I love this guy, one of the most brilliant minds, black men right now in America. But yeah, let him get into this little clip explaining what I just told you guys. All right.
People like Candace Owens and Herman Cain and Thomas Sowell, Walter Williams, Allen West, Clarence Thomas get for simply suggesting that maybe, just maybe, the policies that blacks have been following, Democratic policies that blacks have been voting for, the left-wing policies that blacks have been pulling that lever for, maybe, just maybe, we ought to rethink them. And it's not an angry film. It's not a film that says, how dare you call us these nasty names. It's a film that says, why can't we have an intelligent discussion about whether or not we should be supporting school choice? Why can't we have an intelligent discussion about whether or not we should be supporting Roe v. Wade? Why can't we have an intelligent discussion about whether or not we should be having stronger borders? Because the studies suggest that unskilled illegal aliens take jobs away from unskilled black and brown workers and puts downward pressure on their wages. Can we have a discussion about this without my being called an Uncle Tom, a self-loather, a sellout? Dean Baquet.
Great little snippet. Please You can see the title of it. It's right here on YouTube. Why are black conservatives called Uncle Tom? Larry Elder talks about the George Floyd protests and his new film, Uncle Tom. 50 minutes. Make sure you search for that. American Thought Leaders. Yeah. All right, cool. So I'm going to get on the phone with my friend Troy. Okay? And we're going to get him involved in the conversation. Yo, good afternoon, Troy. Welcome to the Super Sexy Black Saitama Show, man. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
All right, for sure, for sure. Hey, listen, man, we're going to talk about a few things today. All right, let me get to the lineup of what we're going to talk about. How you doing? How's your day going today, bro?
Doing fantastic. Another easy day.
Another easy day? That's what's up, man. How's urban agriculture coming along?
It's getting put together pretty good right now. Still in the beginning stages of beginning the company. Corona, COVID-19 kind of slowed things down, but we're getting things in order.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, hey, coronavirus, that scam, yeah, that shit slowed down all of America, didn't it?
Man, that something slowed down America, the world, everything.
That shit crazy, man. Hey, all right, so cool, right? So we were just talking about a quick segment about the real Negro coons in the black community, right? And how the black community always tries to call black conservatives Uncle Toms and coons, but we all know who the real coons are, the black Democrat leadership in all these black communities. I was just talking about your mayor up there in Chicago. What's her name? I don't even know the bitch name. I call her Frankenstein.
You mean Mayor, what's that, Lori Lightfoot?
Okay, yeah, Lori Lightfoot, right? We were just talking about, let me go to the slide right quick that I started it with. Do I have it? I don't have it anymore. But it was a slide that showed like Mayor Lightfoot, you said?
Yes.
Okay, so it showed her and 3 other black mayors, right? And the slide said there was at least 1,600 deaths in their city, but they never mentioned it once. But now all of a sudden they on TV talking about these 2 cops compared to all the deaths in their city, black on black deaths in their city. They never mentioned that. What you think about that, bro?
As far as how the leadership never wants to talk about the inner city crime that we have going on in our own communities.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. Of course they don't want to talk about it. I mean, if they talk about it, that makes them look bad, and if they look bad, they can't keep pimping the system.
Poverty pimping, bro. You right about that.
Poverty pimping. If they voters or whoever support them see that they're doing a terrible job, guess what? They not gonna vote for them again. So, at the end of the day, it's the American thing. We all looking out for ourselves. Too competitive.
Yeah, super competitive.
That's the personality. So it don't matter to the average worker all the way to a person like Mayor Lightfoot. They only looking out for themselves.
Pretty much, straight up, man. So pretty much we're gonna talk on quick 4 subjects, right? I'm gonna ask you 4 questions, right? What is Juneteenth? Who's in charge of Black Lives Matter? Where does the funding for Black Lives Matter go to? And can Atlanta, or as T.I. put it, can Wakanda prosper without law enforcement? So first question, what is Juneteenth? For the people that don't know, what is Juneteenth?
Oh, well, Juneteenth is the day that we celebrate our independence from slavery. That is the day back in 1865 where they came and told us after the Civil War had ended that there was no longer slavery, that we were free from being slaves.
That's what's up. I got the definition right here from Wikipedia. Is on screen right now, and you 100% correct. You know, you paraphrased it, but you know, everybody, you guys could go to your favorite social media source, Wikipedia, Google, and you can find out what Juneteenth is. My friend Troy, he just explained it perfectly. All right, so second question, who's in charge of Black Lives Matter?
Who's in charge of Black Lives Matter? That question I cannot tell you because it's just a statement, I think. Because we all know who runs certain organizations. You know, for example, the Nation of Islam. If I said that, we gonna all be like, "Oh yeah, Farrakhan, he run that."
Mm-hmm.
Or if I said the NFL, everybody know that one. Oh, it's Roger Goodell. It's the owners of the teams. They run the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when it comes to the Black Lives Matter movement, we can't put a face to the movement. It's a faceless movement. I mean, yes, Black Lives Matter. You know, it's 42 million black people in America. So I guess Black Lives Matter represents all 42 million of us. But it's like at the end of the day, I mean, I don't know who to follow on Twitter. I don't know who to get my daily information from. Where we gonna be protesting at or anything? Like I don't know.
Bro, that's been a hot topic for like the past 2 weeks. I think Candace Owens, she broke out the bombshell just like she did Andrew Gillum. Hey boy, God bless Candace Owens, boy. She always pinpointing and focusing and exposing the real Negro coons.
Well, according to Dave Chappelle, her pussy stank.
Oh. Hey, listen, man. You know, you know what I call that? I call that a case of coon babble. When a nigga don't have nothing to say, but he still want to say something. He want to be the popular kid in high school. He want to be the one that make everybody laugh in the back of the class. So that's just coon babble, bro.
Or you know, the kid that was always the smart kid in the classroom. You know, the teacher's pet.
Yeah.
And she want to, you know, snitch, and then you know, you want to call her out.
Oh yeah.
Why you telling on us? You supposed to be with us.
Yes, boy. Hey, dog, we all know it, man, dog. Like people be thinking it's like a secret in the black community. We all know how it is. We all live this shit already, man. All right, so yeah, but what I was saying, Candace Owens exposed where Black Lives Matter money was going. All of that shit going to the Democrat fucking candidates. Democrat campaigns. Did you know that?
Oh, I didn't know that. I mean, I always assumed, you know, somebody was getting paid from it.
Dog, 100% of that money going. We gonna go to a video that 100% of that money going to Democrat candidates, dog. But I think we pretty much answered the third question. Where does funding? Huh?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's kind of like a low-key way of getting funding to introduce that new bill that they did. You know, like
What bill?
don't the Democrats have like, I think it's 2 different bills out now. You know, they got the police reform bill, and then since today's Juneteenth, they want to make Juneteenth a federal holiday.
Hey, you might be onto something. I know Donald Trump just signed an executive order on police reform. So I don't know what bill they talk about with police reform, but we gonna get into that. Okay, so since we talk about police reform, because we answered the third question, where does the funding? So, and I'm gonna go to a video of that. But the last question for you, my friend, can Wakanda, aka Atlanta, prosper without law enforcement?
You mean, can the city operate and function as a well-oiled machine without having people who enforce the law patrolling the streets, making sure those people out there who try to take advantage of others and want to do ill will on others, can they prosper without that? I highly doubt it.
We go.
The world is being overrun by criminals, and especially in America, you know.
Well, especially in the black communities.
Oh shit! Well, we all know it.
Well, nigga, you live in Chicago. Like, how is it living in Chicago? Can Chicago survive without law enforcement?
Before I answer that, we all know once you make it in the hood, guess what you do? You move out the hood.
You gotta move out. You gotta move out.
So yeah, Chicago. I mean, I don't know what's going on up here. Like, it's just like one big clusterfuck. Like, we all doing the corona stuff, or we doing the curfew because of the protest stuff? Are we
Dog, you wanna hear something funny? You wanna hear something funny? You remember Trump rally was supposed to be today, Juneteenth in Tulsa, right?
Yeah,
So
I got a little conspiracy about that one.
but hold on before we get into that. So just like you were saying, we rioting, we protested. Okay, so they've been rioting and protesting in Tulsa, Oklahoma as well, right? Now that Trump rally has moved tomorrow, guess what they did?
What did they do?
They imposed curfew again for COVID. Just for the Trump rally. Ain't that funny? So you can't go to a Trump rally because of health concerns. So the mayor put that out. But you could go out there and protest and riot and shit. Ain't that funny?
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, it be hundreds of people out there protesting. But when you go get some food, it be like 3 people, and they make you stay 6 feet away from each other. It's wild.
Dude, this world, I don't know where it's going, man. But hey, listen, man, I want to thank you so much for calling into the show. We're gonna be moving on to the next clip, the next subject. How did you like it? Did you have fun?
Oh yeah, pleasure. My pleasure being on the show, man. Thank you for having me.
All right, for sure. Hey, next time we get on the show, we're gonna probably talk about a little bit of that urban agriculture, man.
Oh yeah, hopefully we can have some footage, get the show,
You're growing
what we're doing.
You're growing corn right now, right?
Yeah, we got corn, tomatoes, cucumber, zucchini,
And
watermelon, pumpkin, cantaloupe.
And that's up in Chicago?
Yes, sir.
Hey, let the people know where they can reach you at, bro.
Oh yeah, you can reach me at urbanagriculturellc.com. Soon to be up and running by the end of the year. When harvest time comes, we can have 100% organic produce. Right here in Bellwood, west suburb of Chicago. So hit me up.
All right, go ahead.
I got y'all.
All right, for sure. Sorry to interrupt you, but hey, man, thanks again, man. I'm gonna call you again for the show, bro.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
All right, for sure, man.
All right.
Yo. All right, man. That was a good little phone call, my friend. He gave you a little insight of how it's up there in Chicago, what they're thinking about up there in Chicago. Like I was telling him, we're gonna go to a clip about where does Black Lives Matter money goes, and let me see. I'm gonna read my caption for this video first, and then we're gonna jump into the subject. All right, so Candace Owens. Candace Owens is the queen of the black community. Last week she exposed where does the Black Lives Matter donation money goes to, and the lady in this video tried it herself. All right. 0 money goes to the black community. 100% of it goes to Democrat political campaigns. Once again, white liberals taking advantage of black emotion. 100% scam. The funny thing is though, some niggas get mad at black conservatives for pointing out the truth. Black Democrats are my favorite joke. Dumb fucking niggas, man. Amir Waheed. All right, so let's get into the video. Another scripture from Black Saitama.
Hi, everybody. Okay, so I saw this video on social media, and I'm all about researching first. So, because, things happen. Anyway, I researched it, and I'm completely shocked. And I just wanted to show you guys. I'm sure a lot of you will have seen the video by now, or will be seeing it soon, because it's going viral. It's going huge. But I can't believe what I am seeing. Okay, let me turn my phone on. So, I'm on the Black Lives Matter homepage, okay? I'm here on my computer, Black Lives Matter. This is the legit page. I'm trying to get my mouse going. Legit page of the Black Lives Matter. I'm just sad right now. So like shocked and sad. But anyway, so I'm here. Let's just say I want to make a donation. So I'm going to donate. And a new page pops up, okay? This is the donation page. Now, if you look in the search bar, it says right here, it's secure and it's going to actblue.com. That's who you're going to be donating to. So now it's no longer Black Lives Matter. It is to actblue.com. How do I know that? You go to number 2 and it says Act Blue Charities. And it goes on. Basically, that's where your money is going, to these Act Blue charities, okay? So they have this option here where you can look at the terms and conditions, which I clicked on that. It takes me here. So I go here and it says it's used for political contributions. Like what? Okay, I thought Black Lives Matter, you're donating to a cause, right? To help Black lives, right? No, it's better. Black Lives Matter there. So I go there. So now I'm going to look at the charity event. So I want to know where their money is going. Well, on that website, it says you have to go to phone numbers, all this stuff. Well, if you go to opensecrets.org, it's a real life site. It basically gives you all the political stuff, like where money is going politically, right? Okay. So I clicked on that, went to their site here. So here's my screen where I went to their site and I searched up Act Blue. Well, there it is. Look at that. So I clicked on that, Act Blue expenditures, because I would like to see where all that money is going. This is just from the election cycle of 2020, okay? So I'm going in, so Black Lives Matter, remember, I donated to Black Lives Matter because I want to help a cause, right? Act Blue takes my money, and now this is where all of that money is going. This gives you an entire list of where all of that money is going. You got administrative, campaign expenses. What? Campaign expenses. Contributions, which it doesn't even give nothing here. It just, like, okay, what? And then they charge, fundraising, okay, media, salaries. Wow, that's a lot of salaries. That's a lot of money. Okay, strategy and research, okay. Unclassifiable. Look at all these unclassifiable monies. Now it gets even nastier. You go to the top vendors and recipients of the money that you're donating to Black Lives Matter. Look where your money is going, people. Look where it's going. So, at the end of the day, this is a reminder. Research where you're donating your money and make sure it's going to an actual cause, because now basically what happened is this is not for the Black community at all. None of it is. It's a corruption. It went to the Democratic parties where all your money went to. You helped no Black lives in this. So donate on other sites if you are choosing to donate. Love to all. Do your research.
All right. That was a good clip. Now you guys know where your money is going to. All you guys donating to Black Lives Matter, right? Now you see where your money is going to. Straight to Democrat. And look at Elijah Cummings. Rest in peace. Mayor of Baltimore. Trump called him out. They were so focused on Russian collusion. Trump called him out. Hey, listen, why don't you pay attention to your shithole district? The nigga had a heart attack a week later. Black Democrat politicians don't want to focus on their issues. Not even to say Black Democrat politicians alone. Even look at Nancy Pelosi's district in California. Homeless everywhere. How do you have time to criticize Trump when the people living in your district are homeless or drug users? You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Great time to start asking questions. Start asking yourself questions in your heart. The future, where is the future for the Black community? What's the future for your children? What's the future for your children's children in the Black community with the trend that we're going on? Disrespect the law. You feel me? Defund the police. Did y'all see that slide? Let me see if I can find this slide right here. Very interesting, very telling slide. right? This is what it's about. Okay? Trump supports law enforcement. Black Saitama supports law enforcement. You know, most conservatives support law enforcement. Nobody loves corrupt cops. If police reform is the issue and corrupt cops and police brutality is the issue, let's focus on them. Oh, you know what I'm saying? There's way more good cops than bad ones. It's the same as the black community. There's way more good black people than niggas in the community. You feel me? Way more good black people in the black community than the few niggas that give the whole black community a bad name. The same thing with the cops. Let's go through this slideshow right quick. What does her life matter? Does his life matter? These two, do their life matter? I see so much diversity. And of course, I personally want to see all these top Black Lives Matter niggas advocating for rioting, looting, and destruction and defunding police, etc. I want to see them on the front lines. Not behind the computer, not no these black so-called black empowered leaders. They just, yes, Black Lives Matter. Disregarding the issues, disregarding all the black on black violence, right? And making it about racism. I want to see you guys take that fight directly to these people, man. Stop being hoes. Stop destroying your own community. But we all know y'all some fuck niggas, man. We know that. We know the truth, man. Proud black people don't riot. Only animals do that. Let's go to this next little clip. And then we're going to end this segment and go to my slogans, definitions, catchphrase definitions. Let me see if I can find it. Let's look at this one. This is a good one. This is who y'all voting for. Joe Biden wrote the crime bill that targeted African Americans in '94. Guess who signed it in? The first black president, Bill Clinton. That's what y'all called him, right? And y'all still vote for Democrats. Welcome back to the Super Sexy Black Saitama Show. Just had a great little conversation with my friend Troy. We just spoke about a few issues with this Black Lives Matter movement and what else we were talking about. Who's in charge of Black Lives Matter? Where does the money go to? What is Juneteenth, right? So the show, you know, you want to talk about so many things that it's just hard to cram it all in. But, you know, we're going to get better at it. All right, so we're going to go into the next portion of the show. We're going to define a few of my slogans and catchphrases. All right, but before we get to that, I wanted to show this clip in the last segment. I wanted to show this clip, but we're just going to get into it. All right, so it's called Did Atlanta Police Walk Out? So let's see. Watch how this show, because I talked about it earlier, right? Good black people, good black Americans love law enforcement. So the far left, the evil left, they hijacked the narrative of the black community not wanting law enforcement. We want to defund the police. That's hijacked. All proud Americans love law enforcement. If corrupt cops and police brutality is the issue, make that the issue specifically. So like I asked my friend earlier, can Wakanda prosper without law enforcement? Now, they're talking about it on the news. I mean, hey, these are things that I bring up last week, the week before, last year. I talk about this stuff all day, every day. And look at it, it plays right out, man. It plays right out in my favor. That's why I was like, Black Saitama is the truth, man. Y'all know that. And that's why y'all get so sensitive when I talk to you guys on Facebook or any part on social media. You guys hit me with the coon babble. Because you want someone to be in that hierarchy of black America, titles and prestige and money and wealth. You want people like that to be the only ones with a political opinion. That's why y'all always rushing to T.I. Killer Mike. It ain't because they smart at politics. It's just because that's who you think you relate to. That's who you watch on TV. Oh, I like his song. I like his music. Yeah, he a real nigga. and then you follow them politically. And it's not just rappers, it's all of them, right? Now, when I come with my opinion, oh, who you is, Uncle Tom, this and that, whatever. So I've been saying this for a couple years now, but let's get into this video right quick.
New information on a story that just blew up on social media and had a lot of you folks out there emailing 11 Alive, and we're talking about the reports of police walkouts, the blue flu in Atlanta. Interim Atlanta Police Chief Rodney Bryant tells the Associated Press that officers started to call out last night and continue to do so today. Bryant did not say how many officers called out in protest over the arrests of Garrett Rolfe and Devin Brosnan. He says some officers are angry and others may even feel abandoned. City Council President Felicia Moore is very concerned.
Please think about the citizens of the city, those innocent people who are in their homes, who may call upon you for help and need your help. And I certainly hope and plead that you will find your way to work so that we can make sure our citizens stay safe.
APD is telling 11 Alive that other Metro Atlanta police departments are ready to step in to help if needed.
Hey, let's go right back a little bit right here. Now look at this.
Your way.
Look. This is what I don't really like about black community right now, right? Because all last week y'all had this sentiment of hatred towards the cops, all cops, right? And then I created the show, the first episode of the Black Saitama show, without white law enforcement, who's responsible for the criminal blacks? That was the first episode, right? Very, very heart-touching subject, right? And look how it played out. Look at her now. Now she's not saying sorry that the black community turned their back on you, police officers, law enforcement. Now she's giving the fake tears and she's trying to put the burden on them. If you could please find it in your heart to come to work for the good black people. The good black people never wanted the police to go away in the first place. They let y'all real Negro coons speak on their behalf. And then when y'all make some dumbass decisions, and then now the police walked out. How y'all go charge the dude with murder when it was a justified shooting? Now you want to beg the police to think about the good citizens. This is black Democrat leadership. Let's play it one more time. I'm only playing it because that black female reporter at the end was sexy. But I'm gonna just let y'all listen to the whole thing, and then we go see a little bit of my sexiness.
Concerned.
Please think about
the
citizens of the city, those innocent people who are in their homes, who may call upon you for help and need your help. And I certainly hope and plead that you will find your way to work so that we can make sure our citizens stay safe.
APD is telling 11 Alive that other Metro Atlanta...
I just wanted to get back to her. Aisha Howard, yeah, sexy. Anyways, all right, so that's the end of this segment here, man. Let's get on to the questions on the definitions of my slogans and catchphrases. And then we're going to wrap it up at the end with the real Negro coons, masters of deflection, shoe shuffling, and coon babble. All right, where we highlight this week's clout chasing, uppity, boule, bougie, Democrat, plantation, nigger. That's going to be a cool segment. All right, so yeah, let's get to the super sexy board, baby. All right. Hey, for a while, everybody been asking me to, what does mimicking white supremacy mean? What does coon babble mean? Who are the real Negroes? What does MAGA mean to you? Stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to explain a few of those right now. All right. So, yeah, happy June 19th, everybody. Juneteenth. All right, so let's get into this real fast, man. Mimicking white supremacy. What does mimicking white supremacy mean? All right, mimicking white supremacy. Utilizing the same practices and hierarchy of our conquerors. Using degrees, job titles, wealth, color, ethnicity, rank, age, privilege, anything you could use that you learned from your masters, you learned from your conquerors. You're just repeating their patterns, waiting for your turn to play master or be in charge. Once you in power, you use nothing in your power to change the status quo. You just continue the same practices of white supremacy. What good are black politicians who mimic white supremacy? It's a rhetorical question. Like I was telling you, we were talking about those black Democrat politicians in Chicago, for instance, and blah blah blah, Atlanta, whatever. And what they doing? Is the black community getting better, or are the education scores staying the same? Is abortion keeping the black community stagnant? You feel me? So what are they really doing? They're passing LGBT, they're passing white liberal agendas. You know what I'm saying? They're promoting sexual liberation, they're promoting feminism, the woman in charge of the house. Nothing for the black man, right? So that's mimicking white supremacy. Black people, or just anyone in general, right, that come to you with a good game, talking to you like they here for the benefit of all, but really they just in the benefit for themselves. Like my friend was talking about on the phone, Troy. So let's give a few examples of the Chicago mayor. She ain't doing nothing to help black people. Black on black crime still crazy. Black Democrat politicians. Who was crying the other week? LeBron James talking about we can't even go outside for a jog anymore. What you mean? LeBron James, black athletes. He could go outside for a jog at any time he want. Ain't no white people looking for him. So niggas that's lying to you, you know what I'm saying? Niggas mimicking white supremacy. They want to just be in charge. They ain't gonna help your life, right? So that's that. All right, so cool. Let's get to the next one. That's one. Okay. What's the difference between nigger and nigger? Nigger and nigga. All right, so we all heard a story about black people took the power back with the word. None of that. No. Don't believe that. All right, so cool. This is the definition. All ethnicities have them. Both niggas and niggas, right? Niggas are me and you. This is just nigga. Nigga is me and you. Just a regular, everyday people, man. Law-abiding citizens. We talk to each other like that all the time. Hey, what's up, my nigga? It don't matter what color it is. You say that. We all embrace it. You know, so we already at them times we use the word amongst each other. Just living day to day normally. You know what I'm saying? That's niggas. That's us. You know, we cool, right? Nigga, on the other hand, niggas are the criminal, detrimental, can't get right individuals in all societies. Color and ethnicity doesn't matter. It don't matter what color you are. It don't matter what race they are, what ethnicity you are. The worst of the worst of humanity are the niggas. So you guys got that. So nigga, it's me and you. Nigger, criminals, shitbags, animals. Cool. Good. What is coon babble? This is my favorite one. Right? Coon babble. So you could refer to, I have the definition on the screen on my IG, but I'm gonna read it to you guys now. Coon babble, deflecting from the topic, making excuses or using emotion in conversation, using every topic not to stay on subject, using jokes, insults, shaming tactics, spiteful wrong answers, that kind of shit. So you're trying to have an intellectual conversation with somebody, right? Hey, how does abortions help the black community, right? And then like you're asking, you're having a conversation, and then the next thing they say, Or how can a black man support Trump? Are you answering the question or are you playing tit for tat like a hoe? That's coon battle. So let me see, using shame and tactics. Insults, etc. Deflecting, you know what I'm saying? That's coon battle. Y'all know that. Y'all see it on my IG all the time, man. I go to war with people on Facebook. Black Saitama can't be defeated in political conversation. All right, the real Negro Coons. We just kind of went over that earlier when I was on the phone. All right, so I also got a slide on IG for that one as well, but we'll get to that later. The real Negro Coons, your black Democrat politicians, your black celebrities, your black religious leaders. Like I read out the book from Honorable Elijah Muhammad, right? They're still promoting racism. They're still promoting oppression, while hypocritically enjoying the best of so-called racist white America. So they're enjoying the best of America. These rich black people, these rich, powerful black athletes, these rich black fucking politicians, black politicians, right? And then they sell you oppression and racism. You can't make it because you're black. Racism still exists. You're being targeted because you're black. Well, how the hell they made that much money? How are they so successful in the same racist white America, but telling you that, you know what I'm saying? So, real Negro Coons. We got T.I., of course, that's number one. Jay-Z, Oprah, Roland Martin, Don Lemon. They always making excuses. None of them could focus on the issues. NAACP. All these years, Al Sharpton. The Congressional Black Caucus, all them niggas. Maxine Waters. Those are the real Negro Coons. These people right here. Always selling you slavery. 50 years in charge. Still selling you slavery. Alright? Let's get into MAGA. What does MAGA mean? We all know what MAGA means. Make America Great Again. I never lived through slavery. I was born in 1980. America has been pretty awesome. It's becoming crazy now, right? But what does MAGA mean? Make America Great Again for yourself. You only live once. You gonna be a victim your whole life? 80 years gonna go by, man. The white people held me back my whole life. Nigga, you wasn't no slave. You ain't go through no Jim Crow. The fuck is you talking about? Did you get a job? Did you get married before having children? Did you refrain from illegal criminal activity? You feel me? Those are the questions you need to ask yourself. So MAGA means pick yourself up from your bootstraps. Get off your ass and fucking make America great again for yourself. That's what it fucking means. Damn. I hate talking to sheep, man. Alright, cool. Conservative woman of value. Alright, conservative woman of value. Traditional values of family. She accepts the woman's role under the biblical family structure. She promotes good moral conduct, contact of character, and womb management. Right? She not out here with 6, 7 baby daddies. She not out here with 4, 5 different kids from different people. She not living off the government on welfare. Right? So, who's a conservative woman of value? If y'all want the current queen of the black community, I'll put Candace Owens. But if y'all want the modern example of a conservative woman of value, I'm gonna give you guys Queen Shahrazad Ali. an example of who conservative women value, go to Candace Owens and Queen Shahrazad Ali. All right, racism does not exist anymore. Racism does not exist. That's a pretty easy one. No black person living today is a slave, going through Jim Crow, going through any real racism that our ancestors suffered from. Our ancestors suffered from real fucking racism. All right? So none of us is going through that. Nothing is in the law, in the books right now that pinpoints you because of your skin color. And while we playing this game of black and white, Asians are the wealthiest in America. Indians are right behind them, the wealthiest. If racism existed and it was only for white people, white supremacy, then why the hell they letting all the Indians and Asians and Arabs and Africans get all this shine that they get? Racism doesn't exist. But what do exist now, individual, evil, racist, bigoted, prejudiced people. Individuals exist. Evil, racists exist. And sometimes they group up. Sometimes individuals group up and create Black Lives Matter. Sometimes individuals group up and create Antifa. Sometimes individuals group up and create the KKK. All right? So racism does not exist. Put a big ass check right here, and I'm gonna put hashtag Keep America Great 2020. All right, man. Thus, that's this segment. Super sexy slogans and definitions, man. So there you guys got it. If you guys want references, resources, you can give me a call directly, or you can hit me in my DM on Instagram. Phone number is 340-473-2415. All right, man, we're back. We're back to the Super Sexy Black Saitama Show. We just had fun with the Super Sexy board, right? We went over the definitions of my favorite catchphrases and slogans. All right, so we're going into the last segment of the show, and this is called The Real Negro Coons, Masters of Deflection, Shoe Shuffling, and Coon Babble, where we highlight this week's clout-chasing, uppity boule bougie Democrat plantation negra. All right, so cool, man. Let's go to this quick screen. This is a perfect example of the real Negro Coons, right? A black president, a black attorney general, a Democrat-controlled House and Senate, a vice president who claim he's always worked for the black community, but yet they pass no prison reform, no police reform, or any other reforms for that matter. And here's my caption. I named them Fast and Furious. Both of them. This here is Fast. Barack Obama is Fast, or Barry Sartoro. And then, look at this dude, Eric Holder. Furious. Two niggas mimicking white supremacy. Have all the power in the world. They could have decriminalized marijuana. They could have did so much for the black community. Them niggas ain't do shit. We got a lot of LGBT bullshit. But look at these two niggas. Gun running in Mexico. What make them any different from Chicago, from the thugs in Chicago? Gun running at the highest levels of government, right? What Kanye say about these two fools? Well, what he said about Obama. He said Obama was president for 8 years and nothing changed in Chicago, right? So we're gonna get into this quick segment. This week, the real Negro Coons are the Breakfast Club, every single one of them. Charlemagne, DJ Envy, and Angela Yee. They had Rush Limbaugh on their show this week, right? Let's go full screen. They had Rush Limbaugh on the show, right? I don't know if it was this week, but I just listened to it this week, right? And wasted opportunity. You could hear the wholeness in Envy's voice. This nigga just cracking, ready to crack and cry at any moment. Just ready to crack and cry. You know what I'm saying? Everything they excuse, every problem is racism. White people. These is what you call hoes, aka the real Negro Coons of the black community. All right, so let's get into this quick clip. This is towards the end of the show. I guess Rush Limbaugh was trying to get, he was getting frustrated because it's like he's on the show trying to start the communication, but all three of them, Angela Yee, Charlemagne, and DJ Envy, all of them used this opportunity to just make it a white people I'm blaming white people moment. So let's just get into this quick, and we're just gonna let this thing wrap up, and we're gonna end the show with this here.
Protesting and fighting with black people, I salute them. But why do you think they're out there, Russ?
Because they're fed up with what happened to George Floyd. They're fed up with this situation that will not stop, that caused all this and provided the opportunity for all this to happen, meaning the opportunity to protest and riot. There are more Americans fed up with it than you know. That's my point.
What about America, though? You don't think that the fact that there's 40 million people who filed for unemployment? The largest unemployment rate since the Depression era? You don't think that they're fed up about that, too?
Well, I already acknowledged that earlier in the conversation. You can't put 40 million people out of work, but I'm telling you that you have a lot of simpatico people out there. White people were marching in the 60s with Dr. King. In fact, Dr. King's death did not cause this kind of strife in this country.
Martin Luther King Jr. is dead because of racism and white supremacy.
Well, okay, if that's your answer to everything, then I don't know where we go.
It is, though. It is. He's dead because he was fighting against racism and white supremacy.
All right.
That's why he's dead.
Well, good luck, guys.
Thank you for the conversation.
If we can do this again, we'll do it again.
Now, this was a serious conversation. At times, an uncomfortable conversation. Even though we have vastly different viewpoints from Rush, it was an open conversation to have because the dialogue must be open beyond just our community if we are ever going to get a real change from all people. This is The Breakfast Club.
Look at these niggas, man. They had Mr. White America on their show, right? All questions that they have, you could ask Rush Limbaugh, you could ask Mark Levine, you could ask Bill O'Reilly. But right now, this convenience of sensitive times, right? This convenience of sensitive times, Rush Limbaugh took the relaxed approach compared to how he used to go in. You feel me? So he took the pander approach. He's trying to pander to the Breakfast Club and hey, look, I'm here. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a dialogue. But that was just the last little couple minutes of the show. But if you listen to the whole show yourself, these motherfuckers used every moment to blame white people, right? To deflect from the real issues. Because I think at one point, Rush Limbaugh asked them, okay, so what's the solution? What's the solution to all y'all grief, to all this Black Lives Matter grief and all this crap? What's your guys' solution? He's asking them on a show. These niggas don't have no answer. Because niggas don't have no answer. You feel me? Niggas just love complaining. You feel me? And look at them, very successful. Racism isn't stopping none of them. Envy got all the fucking cars in the world. You know what I'm saying? All the jewelry and houses and stuff. That's why Dame Dash always getting his ass when they be on radio together. Dame Dash be calling out them hoes. That's why Dame Dash gets so much scrutiny, because Dame Dash not cut from they cloth. These real fuck niggas in America, these real Negro coons. Dame Dash come from a whole different cloth, and that's why you see the black community turn on him too. But yeah, man, this week, Real Negro Coons title goes to The Breakfast Club. All three of them. All right, guys, that was it. That was the super sexy Black Saitama show. I'm your host, Black Saitama, aka Amir Waheed. Continue to tune in. Please catch me on Instagram, Black Saitama _ or #2 Stunner. You can catch me on Facebook, Amir Waheed or Prince Nasif. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, donate. Definitely donate for more super sexy content. I'm gonna keep the conversation super sexy. The topics will be super sexy. Like I told you guys, it's always about niggas in politics, but we're gonna make it super sexy. All right, that's the goal. So like I tell you guys, I only have one job, and that's to save one black person off the Democrat plantation, one day at a time. Matter of fact, I have two jobs. You know, when I do my Instagram and stuff, as long as you niggas read, I'm happy. I'm your host, Black Saitama, aka Amir Waheed. And man, continue to watch the Black Saitama show.